action. We're here. This is it. This is the beastie, the Maximus. Listen, well done. It's amazing. Well, we're going to be launching this at the REI Show in Las Vegas. May try and go. I'm not sure whether I'm going to be there or not. Matthew is sitting behind. He will definitely be there. But this is our first attempt into the US market. And you know what? It's a hell of a product. So I want to talk about a few things, and I'm asking Kevin to sort of, as the engineer, as the lead engineer, explain. Of course, I know a lot of the answers already, but I want to hear from Kevin. So, and by the way, it's a beautiful day. The only day we haven't had rain. We haven't had rain today. You got quiet. All right, go on, Kevin. Explain. So we've got. So we talk about the board, and we talk about people using the product for the first time, and then we obviously we could do a separate video about the UI. So we've obviously got the breakers here. So this breaker is for the battery.
Yeah, right.
So what's the rating of this? What's the rating of the breaker?
The breaker is 300 ampere.
Amp. Okay. And then we've got three breakers here. One is for the AC. You explain.
One is for generator. One is for the output. Another is for the backup.
Right. Okay. So these are. So it's very nice. So when we actually do it, there's a cover that sits over all of this. So the end user, if a breaker trips, they're not accessing to any live parts. All they've got is access to the breaker. So it's very nice. Okay. So we've got unique feature, absolute unique feature. We actually have 3 MPPTs.
Right.
So each MPPT is.
One is 30 ampere, and another two is 22 ampere. So it is suitable for most of the solar panels on the market.
Fantastic. So the nice thing about it, we've got 3 locations, so we can put 3 different sets of array up there, and you in different directions. So north, south, and maybe a west or whatever. I don't know.
Yes,
It's great having 3 MPPTs, because a lot of the stuff we make is 2 MPPTs, so we have the 2 sides of a house. But this is a little bit more unique, so we've got 3 MPPTs, which is very nice. So there's lots of things on the board here, and I can see lots of dry contacts and stuff. You can see these connections. Just explain what these connections are.
Yeah, actually we reserved the dry contact for the generator start and for the remote off.
So for rapid shutdown, remote off.
Yeah, and this is also the rapid shutdown. Yeah, right.
Okay. So the first. So these are a changeover relay for an ATS. Is it changeover? Dry contact. What is it? Explain a bit more. So these connections here, they're dry contact.
Yes.
So the dry contact. What's the
current? We reserve one dry in, dry out in the future use. Yeah.
Right. So these are dry contacts. So so basically, so if somebody wants to using a generator and ATS, they can just plug in and they can put the connector into here.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. And so it is common, normally open, normally closed connector.
Yeah, it's normally open. Normal open.
So it's a normally open. And then for the remote switch, is that normally open?
Yeah, right.
And it closed to shut down?
Yeah, right.
For rapid shut. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got on here the 485. Is this anything particular, or is this just a general universal bus, or are we using it for anything particular?
Yeah, actually, this RS485 is reserved for some customer. They want their own remote control.
Right. So so we've got so there's a lot of future uses for it, which is really, really nice. So I will point out, this actual unit is one of the pre-production prototypes. So in fact, this is actually only a 10 kilowatt, because as you notice the MPPT is missing before anybody comments. So it's actually a lower power version. But of course, the one that we're going to launch is 11.5 kilowatt off-grid inverter. So it's a true 11.5. Some people may rate it as call it 15 kilowatt, because the MPPT is a 15 kilowatt, 5 kilowatt per channel. What's the maximum? Can we overrate the MPPT? Can we put more power on the MPPT? So, for example, oversize the panel. So on the 15, it's a 15 kilowatt MPPT. What's the maximum size panel we could put?
Yeah, actually, for our inverter, we can put 200% oversizing of the solar panels.
So basically, it's a 15. So we can put 30 kilowatt or more. So 100%. So double the size. So we could put 30 kilowatt of solar panel onto this.
Yeah, right.
So that's really good feature. So we could put 10 kilowatt of solar panel per MPPT. That makes it very, very nice. So on here, this obviously, you see the function I've done on a previous video. This is the LED array, and we can explain because this does lots of different things depending on the battery condition. You choose what you want the LED to be, and you can have different things. So this is really, really, really nice. The other thing is it is low voltage. It's not high voltage. It's super duper safe. So we now on the approval process. We've got all of the UL approval is in place now. I think we're just finally waiting for the CEC for the California, or is that all done now?
Yeah, that's right. All other certificates ready.
So everything is ready.
Yeah.
So we're really ready to rock and roll. So we're focusing now on the US. We're going to be at the REI show, and we want to focus. And we're looking for people. We're looking to work with me. And we're the Sunsynk. We're a well-known brand. We've sold a lot of plants, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of systems around the world. So we're not going as new boys. We're going as very well established. We're running this on the Sunsynk Connect, and then later it'll be on the Sunsynk Connect Pro, which is we've actually got a patent granted on the AI technology. So we're not just sort of rate chasing. We have a lot more sophistication. Anything else they should be aware? We've got this little dip switch here. What's this for?
Yeah, actually this is for the parallel communication. So if we want to parallel the inverters, we need to connect this port and switch this switch. And the maximum this inverter support 9 units in parallel. So
you can parallel 9 units, and this is your parallel COM port.
Yeah, right.
Fantastic. So we can go 9. So this is a really nice all-around product. The quality, I've got to be honest with you, it's superb. It is absolutely superb. Well done. The guys working on it are really, really nice. We've been discussing about on the blank, even a stupid thing. We've been having a lot of discussions about blanking plates, and originally we were going to have a knockout in here, and we've decided to put a blanking plate. And people saying, oh yeah, but but in America and US they always take out the using compression gland, and you put in a flexible conduit. Accept that. Understand that. And they do exactly the same thing in the UK and in South Africa. They will take them out. But the nice thing about having a blanking plate is, one, if you're not using all of the holes, then you're not losing your IP rating. And also, so if you're only using a few of them, you still keep the IP rating. So that's very important. This is IP65.
Yeah, IP65 and NEMA 3R.
Fantastic. So we're ticking all the boxes. We've actually married it up to a very nice battery that we've agreed to use with this now. We'll be showing this at the REI show. So this is our flagship. It's nice. You might see from the video stuff, but I can tell you this is a nice piece of kit. This is so well engineered. It's cast aluminium. It comes together fantastic. It's really, really nice. Is there any features, anything else that people should be aware of when installing it?
Yeah, actually. We have BMS communication here, and also the meter CT communication here. Yeah, this is a separate port.
So if you're using a meter rather than using the CT coil.
Yeah, if customer using the lead-acid battery, we also support to use NTC to connect here to have the compensation of the temperature to charge the battery.
So somebody was saying to me about, okay, but you've got to have 200 amp bypass current through it. We've had the discussion about whether you should have such high ride-through current for full house backup. And I don't think you need it, because nowadays we notice these ATSs, automatic transfer switches, and we've been discussing, they're available on Amazon. I think as low as in US, as low as what, $30, $35? Some of them very, very cheap. The beauty of using an external ATS as rather than using the ATS inside the inverter, if you get a short circuit or you get something going wrong, or if your cooker shorts or your water system or whatever have a short circuit, or your AC short, and there's a high inrush current, you're going to damage the inverter. By keeping the ATS separate from the inverter, and you're spending a relatively small amount of money, and it's a very simple integration, you keep it separate, that means if you have a short circuit or something goes wrong, it's going to actually, it's the ATS that's going to get it, not the inverter, and you're going to protect the inverter. So the maximum current right through this is about 60. Is it 60 amps?
The maximum input is 60 amp, but the maximum output is 47.5 ampere.
Yeah, so the ride-through current, the ride-through current is so basically the bypass current.
Yeah, 47.5.
And we have the protectors here for it. So
Yeah.
we're actually protecting it for the actual rating of the inverter. So because if you're having, say, a 200 amp bypass, then your breakers would have to be so much higher. And you're not necessarily protecting the overload from the inverter, you're protecting the ride-through current. Whereas if we're using a separate ATS, then this is going to make the product much, much more robust, much stronger. People like to say, "Oh, it's bulletproof." Well, I'll tell you what, this is pretty well bulletproof. It is so well, it's this sort of Taiwanese, I say Taiwanese design, Taiwanese architecture, because we're working with a Taiwanese company, and this is nice. This is really, really nice. And to actually use it with an ATS, we can do some video and explain how to connect it. But I think a lot of people will know how to use an ATS because they're so common. And these things, as I say, they're totally available. We were looking on the Amazon website, and there's so many of these things available, all different ratings, 100 amp, 200 amp, whatever amp you want.
Yeah, right.
And it's not a difficult install. It's a very simple install. So is there anything else we want to add to this as a sort of first training video?
Yeah.
Anything else you think we should be talking about? We're not talking about the UI, the UI, or the human interface, whatever you want to call it. We're talking about the actual inverter, but the installation of this inverter is really simple. It's really, really simple. Split phase inverter. And we don't see, we're looking what's on the market, and people say, oh, we're new boys coming to the market, but we're not so new. We have got experience, and we know, we've been involved in inverters for over 20 years, and so we know what people are expecting. So I think this is, I'm really, really, really excited about this. We tick all the boxes. Everything is there, even down to the battery breaker. Everything. This is one nice piece of kit, and this is something that's going to be installed. It will give a long-term reliability. It's what it's all about. And we've got every feature, even down to the LED array, tells you what it's about. This is nice. This is beautiful. And you just touch, you feel it, whatever, and you can feel the quality of it. So I'm not selling, this video is more of a training video, and to understand the connections, understand the paralleling, understand the various things. So we'll issue more videos, but I think by now everyone's familiar what a hybrid inverter is, a bidirectional inverter, and what everything is about. So most people are understanding the technology. And I don't know, on the central processor, the DSP, are we using the TI chip? We're using TI? The central DSP is a TI.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So I know. So we're actually using. We're using the American architecture. It's important because it's based on American architecture. Something interesting. I was in the Philippines in Clark not long ago, and so TI Texas Instruments have a huge factory, a packaging factory in Clark, and the actual wafers they use on the inverters, the wafer is actually fabricated in Taiwan. It's sent over to Clark, and they do all the packaging for the inverter. All the chips, the major DSPs, are actually made in Clark in the Philippines, and then they're exported. It's American technology. It's very much American technology. And American technology going into an American product, I think we've got a great product. Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
Thank you. And listen, any questions, if you're interested, you can contact me through YouTube and I'll pass it on. But hopefully we're going to take some of you guys and we're going to go through an incredible journey together. You're quite happy to work with a British company. We're a British company. You probably know we're a British company. We're not anything else. And let's do something amazing. Really do something amazing. We've got a great product, great team behind it, great everything. Thanks for following.